Hi YouTube, how are we doing today? My name is Griffin and I am a complete and utter skincare nerd, and it is July here in San Francisco and it is gorgeous, and I'm very excited because July also just so happens to be the birth month of my mother. And I have not done a skincare routine on this channel for a while, and I thought it'd be a great chance to do that, but at the same time also give a routine for somebody that is beyond my demographic of a young man in my early 20s with normal to oilier skin, and instead do one for my mother, who has described herself of not really being somebody who has paid that much attention to her skincare. It kind of overwhelms her a little bit, but was really interested to start doing a little bit better and to get moving a little bit more forward. And I thought I would love to give her a birthday present by helping her get started with her own skincare routine and share my knowledge with her and get her some beautiful products. As I just mentioned, my mother is a gorgeous woman who is beautifully aging in her 50s right now. She is somebody who is very similar to my skin tone, a little bit lighter, and is definitely going through the dryness of having maturing skin. She has had 3 children, and she has worked so hard and really deserves all of this. And when I talk to her about skincare, she is somebody who still does go to the dermatologist. She does still do a little bit for her skin, but she doesn't really know a lot about it. If someone gives her a product, she likely is going to use it because someone says it is right for her, but she never really has gotten super involved in figuring out what is doing what. Why am I using this product? And I really want to help make it kind of an educational experience and also just make it like a fun gift as well for her. She has mentioned to me multiple times that she does get very overwhelmed by the premise of having a long skincare routine. She is a busy woman. She is a working woman. She has a lot of children, all of which are now out of the house, but still just has a lot of stuff that she needs to be doing in her life, and wanted to keep her routine as simple as possible. So this is really about getting the effective stuff done that's going to show her the results that she does want to see, where she does want to see some firming of the skin. She wants to see some just kind of evening out of all that, add some collagen production going on in there, but not just serum and essence and toner and everything going on. Just the stuff that matters. My mother also lives here in beautiful San Francisco, where it isn't really super dry or super humid, and the weather doesn't really get super hot or super cold, but it's just going to be what her skin type really is feeling in that moment. And for most part, that is going to be on the drier side, which is good because I usually am not on the drier side unless it is very dry and wintry. It's a good idea to show off to people who maybe relate more with that skin type. So beginning with the morning, I'm going to recommend that she does the exact same thing that I do in the morning, which is washing your face with just warm water. No cleanser. And especially for dry-skinned people, I think this is what every dry skin person probably should be doing, because when you do put on a cleanser, even when it is the most gentle cleanser that you have, it is going to dry out your skin a little bit. That's going to be the most damaging part of your skincare routine, because you have these surfactants that are kind of trying to strip away all the oil from your skin, and you really want to keep as much oil in your skin as possible when you're facing dryness. So by just using warm water, you're going to be able to get the little bit of kind of, maybe you have a little bit of gunk going on, maybe it's just kind of helping you refresh by giving you some warmness on your face, but you don't need any cleanser. When you fall asleep, you should be doing enough of a good job cleaning your skin and making sure that your pillowcases are clean and you're not really doing anything too crazy at night, that you don't need to clean that much off your skin to begin with, so you don't need a full cleansing agent, just some warm water to kind of just help refresh and get ready for the rest of your routine. The first product that I'm going to have her use in the morning is this serum from L'Oreal. This is the L'Oreal Revitalift C Serum, and before I kind of get so far in the decisions I make, every single product that I decided for her to use is a product that you can walk into a brick and mortar store and buy right off the shelf. And that's really important for me because, as again, she is a busy woman, I want her to feel like she can go anywhere in the country. She travels very often, and be able to get the products that are going to work best for her without having to worry about having to get it shipped somewhere or finding a fake on Amazon somewhere. Just walk into a Walgreens, walk into a Sephora, walk into a Target, and be able to get what you want. And this is, in my opinion, the best vitamin C serum that I have found that you can get at Target, CVS, Walgreens, etc. It is very typical vitamin C. This is an L-ascorbic acid serum, so it is the most raw form of vitamin C, and it's in a silicone suspension. A lot of people would say this is very similar to the Ordinary's vitamin C, but that is at a 30%, this is at a 10%, and a lot of people complain about the Ordinary one being very gritty, because they just put the powder into silicone and that's it. This is a little bit different in that it is a much more homogeneous fluid. It doesn't have that grittiness going on with it. And they also do put in some more skincare ingredients in here, like hyaluronic acid and glycerin, to help it be more than just vitamin C and silicone. It is still going to be very silicone-y. And if that's something that you don't want, it's not really something that I want in my serum, so that's why I haven't talked about it that much for me. Maybe this isn't the right serum for you, but it is going to be extremely stable because it comes in this airtight foil tube, and it's going to be in the silicone, so it's not a water-based solution whatsoever, but you still get that 10% L-ascorbic acid for that beautiful brightening, collagen-producing properties that go on here. This will cost you about $25 per 1 fluid ounce, so it is not the cheapest vitamin C out there. The Ordinary definitely is cheaper, but it absolutely is, in my opinion, on the more affordable side compared to a lot of vitamin Cs, where you have ones like the SkinCeuticals ones that are upwards of $100 that a lot of people are willing to spend if that's the result they're going to get. And when they go to an esthetician and they get their facials, that is what the esthetician is going to recommend for them, so they're going to go buy it. And that's what somebody in my mother's status would likely go do if she were to go get a facial from somebody who does recommend that to her. So by recommending this is saving about $100 off of that bill, and you are still getting that vitamin C ingredient in the most effective, well-studied form out there, and also has those hydrating properties from the hyaluronic acid and the glycerin. The silicone on top of it only stands to be a benefit if you want to wear makeup on top of it, because this is just going to work like a primer. This is just going to help fill out all those pores for you and give you an amazing canvas for you to put any makeup on after that. So again, I really do like to keep this routine short, and in the morning I want it to be as short as possible because I don't have time in the morning to be dilly-dallying. I want to put on my stuff and be ready to go on with the day. And maybe I'm not awake enough. I know that my mom really loves to drink her coffee in the morning. So after you put on your vitamin C does go very well with sunscreen. Yes, we're going right into serum, directly into sunscreen, which is going to work because this is a silicone-based serum, so you have that occlusive nature to it, and you do have the glycerin and hyaluronic acid for some humectant ingredients in there. We can just go on with a sunscreen, and this is the tinted one from Australian Gold. They have recently updated their packaging, so they are now labeling it as a BB cream, but this is the exact same formula that they used to sell as their tinted sunscreen. It's the exact same shade. This is the Fair to Light because, again, she is around my skin shade, so she is on the lighter side of skin, but they now have more shades, which is wonderful. We love that. And the reason why I chose a mineral sunscreen for her is because zinc oxide is the most effective way to block UVA rays in the sun. And those are the ones that cause aging. Those are the ones that cause skin cancers. And I really want to make sure that she's well protected from those. And if I want to make it so that she can go walk into Target or CVS and buy this, I want to make sure that she's getting one that's going to protect her skin very well with that in mind. This is also a silicone water-based thing going on here, so it has that same kind of slip feeling to it. It feels really good going on. I know a lot of people really enjoy wearing this under makeup as well, and it also has the glycerin in it. It has some antioxidants in it from some, I know it has like cockatoo plum extract. It's very much about trying to get some Australian botanicals in here. That is the name of the line. So it has a lot of stuff going for it. And you're getting 3 ounces of sunscreen for $15, which is a great deal on a sunscreen that is honestly this good. I think this is the best drugstore sunscreen that you can get right now if you want something that looks good, is cosmetically elegant, and has good ingredients, because this is a fragrance-free, alcohol-free sunscreen as well. This is my own personal bottle, so I'm actually going to show you how it looks on my skin, because it looks a little bit different on everybody, and I really did want to make sure that I'm not really giving her anything that I wouldn't use myself. These might not be my first choices, but these absolutely would be products that I would use myself. So as you can see, it has a nice little peachy undertone to it. It's hard to tell with this lighting because, again, this is not natural light. It is LED, but it blends in very sheer into the skin. But I like that it has a tint because it doesn't leave a white cast with you. It leaves this nice, beautiful, kind of warm peachiness to your skin that's so hard to clock. And if you're wearing it under makeup, you won't be able to tell at all. And that's one of the big things I know kind of scares people away from wearing sunscreen, is that they don't want to look crazy and they want something that's going to feel good going on your skin. And from this ingredient list, it just goes on so beautifully. It sinks into your skin so well. It doesn't feel greasy. It doesn't make you feel oily. It doesn't dry you out too much, though some people do feel like this does kind of have a little bit of a drying sensation, but I think it is just not that big of a deal. You're not getting the sunscreen to be your moisturizer, and thankfully we also have, again, that serum to kind of help out with some of that as well, that I think this is going to be one that she's going to feel like, oh, this isn't a big deal at all to make sure I put on my skin. And if she's wearing sunscreen every single day, that is a victory. This does use zinc oxide and titanium dioxide as its SPF protectants, and it does also have iron oxides to help make sure it gets the tint that it has, so it does also protect some blue light as well that has some other different kind of properties to it. It's a huge science thing. I don't know. But this is such a popular sunscreen, especially here on YouTube, that there are so many reviews of people giving their opinion on it, and now that there are 2 more shades for darker skin tones, I think it is absolutely one to consider trying. And to continue on with the sunscreen trend, we also all know that reapplication is extremely important, but it isn't the most fun thing to do. And I think, especially with somebody who does wear makeup, she doesn't wear makeup every day, but she does wear makeup, it's important to choose a reapplication process that isn't going to make that an issue, and is one that's going to be very seamless to do. She can just kind of do it on the go. And for that, I chose to use the Tarte Set and Protect Mineral Sunscreen. This is a powder sunscreen. This is, as far as I can tell, exactly the same as the one that comes in the purple container from Tarte. They just kind of duplicated it and put it in this blue packaging. This is what was in stock. The other one was not in stock at Sephora, but this is just a very no frills mineral sunscreen that comes in a powder brush applicator, and you can just brush directly onto your skin whenever you need reapplication. I would not use one of these sunscreens as your main application because it is not going to give you a full protection, but my opinion is that the little bit that you get from this as reapplication is going to be better than nothing. And that really is what I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for better than nothing, because that kind of is where I'm starting from right now. She does her stuff at night and at morning and nothing else. So if we can make her reapply stuff in the middle of the day that is as easy as throwing this brush into your purse and just brushing it before you go outside again, that's a complete win in my book. I'm not going to open up the box for her, of course, this is a gift, but I do have my own brush sunscreen that is basically the same thing. This is the one from Derm, which is even cheaper. This one cost me about $10. I don't like it as much because the way to get the powder off I don't think works as well, where this one is literally just using gravity, where when you turn it upside down it's supposed to come down. The Tarte one has a button that's supposed to help push the powder into the brush, so I think that works a little bit better. But it's all fundamentally the same thing, where you just kind of have this brush and then you brush it onto your skin and you get some of that zinc oxide and titanium dioxide powder onto your skin to stick to, well, the oil that's on there and kind of be that protection as a supplement throughout the day. Great, so that was the morning routine. Very, very simple. 2 main products and 1 supplemental product of the day. I don't think it can get much simpler than that. And I would also say that you can skip the vitamin C in the morning and add it somewhere at night if you would like as well. I will let you know where I will put that once I get to that product. But let's continue on. And it's nighttime, and I am a huge fan of double cleansing. I just wear sunscreen. I don't even wear makeup, but even as somebody who wears makeup infrequently, you still want a good way of taking it off. And makeup wipes, we all know, are not it when it comes to being gentle with your skin and pretending premature signs of aging. And that's why I want to recommend a cleansing oil. This is a cleansing oil instead of micellar water or cleansing balm because I think they are the most effective way of removing makeup that come in the best bang for your buck packaging as well. Where you can get micellar water in a large container, but I don't think it's going to be as effective as a cleansing oil or balm, and the cleansing balms come in smaller packages for the same price. So I really, really like oils, and I find that on average they tend to be the best. The cleansing oil that I recommend for my mother that I have purchased for her is the Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Oil, which is a non-mineral oil based cleansing oil that I think is going to work out very, very well for making sure that she removes all of her makeup and her sunscreen in a very, very effective manner. This is a pretty good deal actually, where it is little under $30 for 200 milliliters of product, which is a good amount of product despite being considered more of a higher end brand. I wouldn't say they're luxury whatsoever, but they're not cheap. You buy them at Sephora or you can get it at Ulta as well. And it's going to do an amazing job of being a good way of keeping the skin very hydrated, where it has very good oils in here, as good emollient oils that are going to be able to glide on the skin very well and take off all of that sunscreen, all of that makeup, emulsify beautifully, and be able to be rinsed off afterwards. I would have loved to have some cheaper Asian beauty oils in here. Those are the ones that I've been loving the most lately, but they're not very accessible and can be very confusing for somebody who doesn't really know how to go on YesStyle as easily and figure out what works, what doesn't work, and why the hell are these ingredient lists in some moon language. I think teaching her how to use the cleansing oil honestly might be the hardest thing that comes through this routine, but I think it might be the most helpful thing about the routine, because it isn't super intuitive to be able to put on this oil onto your dry face and kind of gather up all that stuff from your face before putting on any water. Like, I think my natural instinct is if I want to wash something off, I use soap and water, and it's kind of taking it a step ahead. But I think once I just kind of go and teach her and say, this is how you do it, it's going to be a very fun experience. It might take some time for her to do it, so we'll see if she sticks to it or not, but I really hope she does. And to pair with that, of course, I had to recommend my favorite cleanser right now, which is the Roche-Possay Toleriane Hydrating Cleanser, which I love so much. It is such a everybody cleanser where it is still extremely gentle, very low surfactant count, but does make you feel clean without giving you that squeaky sensation. It just gets everything off your skin extremely effectively. It has ceramides and niacinamide in it, actually. I don't really care that much because I'm washing it off anyway, but this is my own one, again, so not using hers, but I can show you that it does come in a very creamy, hydrating, kind of just lathers very, very softly, very gently on your skin, but spreads beautifully, gets everywhere. A little bit will last a long way, and it's going to get all of the stuff that the oil cleanser gathered up off your skin and give you with a nice clean blank slate to put the rest of your skincare on. Also, at $15 for 400 milliliters, it is a killer steal of a pretty good brand. Yes, this is a drugstore brand, but like, it definitely doesn't present itself as such. It is something that I wouldn't be afraid to put on my countertop if that's something that you care about, and it works so well. After cleansing, once again, I'm going straight onto the serum step because toners are fun and I love them so much, but are highly unnecessary when we were just thinking about pure results-based skincare. So I am recommending that my mother use, of course, retinol. This is the Inkey List's retinol. This is another silicone suspension, but also comes with a bunch of beautiful ingredients to help make things very hydrated, like squalane, like glycerin, like hyaluronic acid. This is a mixture of some retinol derivatives as well as normal retinol that's encapsulated to be a release system. So this is going to be a very gentle retinol. This shouldn't cause any irritation despite having a relatively high concentration of what they market as 1%. And I think it's going to be a great choice for her. We also have a few peptides to help out with some theoretical anti-aging, though they are very low down on the list, and there isn't really a lot of research on how much peptides really do, but I think this is going to be something that she is going to really enjoy using, and this is about $10 for 1 ounce of product, so it's a very good deal. I think a lot of people in this age bracket are also on higher strength retinoids like tretinoin, like adapalene, so theoretically I could have bought her different and told her to use it, but in my opinion, I think Differin Gel is something that is very opt-in. You don't want to gift somebody that unless they are actively saying, I want this, I know what the side effects are, and I'm willing to go through them, I'm willing to give it a try. So if she wants to go to her dermatologist and ask for a prescription of tretinoin, I have told her multiple times that that is an option that I recommend if she thinks that is something that she really wants to work for. But as a gift towards somebody, with somebody who is going to be a little bit overwhelmed by things, I want to start off with something a little bit more approachable that isn't going to kind of make her worried about if she's going to react poorly to it. I think this is a very safe choice, and I have also told her to only use this every other day. This isn't an every single day thing. Then when I alluded to maybe if she didn't like using the serum in the morning, I say use the vitamin C on alternating nights with the retinol. That's kind of where I put it in if you want to move it to the night instead. I prefer mixing it with my sunscreen in the morning because it just has those benefits of working very well to increase sun protection, and the antioxidant works very, very well alongside the sunscreen, but it would work very well in tandem with the retinol on alternating days for both of their collagen producing qualities. And finally, we want to end off with a good moisturizer. I think the moisturizer is key with people with drier skin types, and it's something hard for me to kind of relate to because I hate heavy moisturizers. I hate super occlusive moisturizers. I don't like how they feel on my skin. I don't like having to spread them on my skin. And it's hard because a lot of them come in jar packaging, which I personally don't like because it just feels like you're not going to get the right amount and it feels a little bit unsanitary, even though a lot of those are debunked. It's just not for me. And the ones that do come in pump containers often come in tiny little containers. And I don't want to give my mom something that's going to run out immediately. I'm okay with it with the vitamin C and with the retinol because those are active ingredients, so you're using both less of them, and also they will expire much faster. But when it's a moisturizer, I want a larger container. And I think a lot of people are going to understand exactly where I'm going with this because I am recommending the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream. This is my tiny little trial size because it's not the moisturizer for me. It's not for my skin type. But for somebody who has drier, more maturing skin, it's an excellent option where I'll show you how it just is a very rich cream that has a wonderful ingredient list where you have the hyaluronic acid, you have the ceramides, you have a very, very occlusive base of both petrolatum and silicone, and it's just going to spread onto your skin and give you a nice, rich, just kind of nourished feeling on there. It's going to blend in very well, which is something that I get very frustrated when my moisturizer just kind of feels like it sits on top of your skin and doesn't really sink in all, and I think it's going to work very well for her. We all know CeraVe cream is a hell of a deal. I think it's an amazing choice for people who want something heavier than the lotion, which is one that I prefer with my skin type, and I got her one in a tube in case she actually doesn't like it. It comes in a bigger container. It comes in a very large pump tub, and you can get a lot of it and it'll last forever. But I do want to make sure that if she says, you know what, this one didn't work for me, I didn't like it very much, she doesn't feel like she's wasting a whole tub of stuff. And she can use a tube, which I love tubes. Tubes work great for almost everything. And that's my entire routine. It is definitely a very, very concise routine where it's focusing on what you need and no frills, no extras, just stuff that is proven, is researched to be effective and give your skin the benefits that it needs. And I really hope that she enjoys using it. I feel like this is a very accessible routine for a lot of people out there who are confused and want somewhere to start that is not going to have a high chance of too much irritation, and I think this is an amazing choice for people like that, with drier skin, with more mature skin, with more sensitive skin. I think this is a great option. So let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you fall under these categories and any of these product recommendations maybe helped you out in making your choices, or if you want to help out your parents or your loved ones that maybe fit this as well. Leave a comment down below if that kind of resonates with you, and maybe give me a like as well if you enjoyed this video, enjoyed hearing a different perspective of a skin routine besides one that is just catered for me. And subscribe if you want to see more videos. I try to do a very good balance of just about everything skincare related, where I give full routines, I do more in-depth product reviews, I just kind of talk more about my opinions on things, because this is all anecdotal experience. I am not a doctor, I am not an esthetician. I'm just a kid on the internet who has way too much time researching stuff through the internet. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.